should really have the Harrison in, but we haven't. He's busy. So, well, first of all, you can smell this. I can't dip this because it's crystals, but if you just waft the top of the bottle. This one is from Cinerome, because I went to a little presentation they did in town, and it was just lovely. It was me and Marina Barthenilia and Paul Schutz and Sultan Pasha, and their perfumer and salesperson came over from France and let us smell some tunes. And I'm in love with that bottle, but don't sniff too deeply because it is a powder. Just waft the aroma coming off it.
Woody.
Here. Yes. Also earthy.
Yeah, earthy. Smells like soil. Smells like healthy soil.
It's healthy soil. This is called Eryson Crystal. And because it smells of a bit like orris root, you know, that. So I'm intending to use these.
Great.
Because this will fix the orris in place, and
Lovely.
I like something grounding. And then what happened was I finally got, after 12 years, a collection of ROBERTET'S new cyclo scent materials. So these are made from upcycled stuff. I was hoping for the
Picture like upcycled cabinets and things.
upcycled, Rice brand, for example.
Wow.
Yeah, so they haven't been repainted. They haven't been made purple because, you know, or pale duck egg blue because brown's no longer fashionable. They've taken materials from other industries and turned them into...
Hey, that's cool.
Yes, isn't it? So I think, well, I obviously wanted some because I really like that sort of thing. They did warn me they are expensive. So I smelled these at the IFRA Fragrance Forum, and then we were trying to fix a meeting, and that sort of was about to happen, and then it got cancelled, and then they couldn't get the samples, so it couldn't happen, and so the samples got sent directly to me. Now that does not happen. I've never, ever, ever in this many years ever had any Robertet samples. Although they did once give me a notebook, which is nice. So Robertet's where Roshni works now. This is cocoa butter.
I was going to say that.
Extract left over from chocolate industry.
I was going to say it smells like cocoa butter.
Doesn't it just? That's because it is.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
And the great thing about it is that it doesn't have loads of colour, so that might mean that I can make chocolate things that don't stain people's clothing.
Oh yeah, great.
Because of that, because I don't really have decolorised things. So finally yesterday these arrived, and then I had my Zoom meeting. So we finally talked about the same things at the same time. So I'm getting a quote over, and I'm going to buy stuff. So I'm just deciding what.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of them. But
I think so as well.
I like a bit of upcycling. Now this one, I'm not sure if this is. This is a co-distillation as well. I'm dipping tiny amounts because they're all at 100%. A co-distillation of... Oh no, I'm going to give you it anyway and see what you think. Of... Pause.
I know what it is.
Go for it.
I do, but I don't. I want to say labdanum.
Oh my god, yes. And I couldn't even tell it was labdanum, but it's labdanum and patchouli.
Is it labdanum?
Labdanum and patchouli together.
Do you know what? I am finally getting this.
You are. But it's called patchoud. Because it smells quite oud-like. But
yeah, it does.
It's not 30 grand a kilo. So
I like it.
Patchouli and labdanum together gives the effect of quite an ambery, rich, vaguely, quite oudy. But I could see myself actually going with this.
I can. I think it's just really nice.
Yes.
Patchoud.
Yes.
Lapchachuli.
Yeah,
Labd-
It's called patchouli. I thought, yeah, it's pronounced patchouli, like patchouli. But, right, oh, okay, now this one. I was warned by Ross, by the way, just because they're upcycled leftover materials doesn't mean they're cheap.
Right, okay.
Of course, because the process they've had to invent a process in order to be able to extract these things from leftover materials, and that's the stuff that's not cheap. No, processes are expensive. Time and processing. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's really, really sickly. Huh?
It's rose. It's rose petals. It's Rosa Damascena.
It's. I don't know if I like it.
Oh dear. It's. You know what it is?
I don't like it.
It smells like you just got dunked in a vat of Turkish delight. I think that's where you get the feeling of the sickliness, because you're associating it with sugar.
I can't smell it.
Okay, take it away. Right. Oh dear. I think this is one of the most amazing things I've ever smelled.
Really?
It's not for Arthur. It's not for Arthur.
It's making me cry.
I'm sorry. Take it away from
It's
your nose.
awful.
Okay. Right. Well, I think this is a good demonstration of perfumery materials on their own. Sometimes, if you don't know, I didn't tell you what was coming, I just gave it to you. It was probably a bit mean, but I thought you'd love it. So I was wrong.
Well, no, I do like rose.
But not at 100% strength when unexpectedly.
There's something.
Yeah.
There's something about it that just makes me want to vom.
Well, okay, don't. But so if I was to say to somebody who was going to make perfume, if they have that reaction, dilute it to 10%, put it aside, and just put a couple of drops in something else and see what happens.
Well,
don't dismiss it.
Well, exactly. I mean, it has a similar effect to me that as civet does, but I really love civet in the back end of.
Fancy rainbow dogs.
In the back end of civet cats.
Yeah. If you approach the civet, and
I feel like saying I like civet in the back end is not right, but yeah, no, I like it in small amounts. Remember when we did Sexiest Scent on the Planet with a bit of civet?
Yeah.
That was really, really amazing. But I really don't like
No, by itself. Civet. I mean, that's the thing. You're not supposed to treat it as an equal with something like Isoe Super. If you were ever going to blend those things together, you'd be 0.001% civet synth, and all the rest of it, 99.999. Of Isoe Super, and that would be a balance.
Yeah.
And so coming to materials just straight, raw like this, you might think, oh, I can't stand that. How could anybody ever use it? But sparingly would be the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I just going to give you this, or should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this. Fun.
Okay. Good. How do you know?
Oh, that is cognac. It's brandy.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes!
Great. Renee's is working
I'm glad you said that before you stopped to think about it, because you knew, but had you stopped and think, oh, am I right? You might have changed your mind, but you are correct. This is white cognac essential oil. And it's made from, the scrapings out that get left behind in the pipes of cognac production.
Wow.
And here's a funny thing I learnt yesterday, which I had not known. The green cognac, which I normally prefer for no reason that I can tell, which should be here, and it should be green. Yeah. Do you know why it's green? I bet you don't. Well, I don't think you do, because it's quite a long shot. Unless you think of things that in chemistry go green without you wanting them to, if you introduce them to oxygen, like statues and roof tiles.
Copper.
Copper. Yeah. You took my hint. Well, that is. So.
Copper pipes.
Yeah. So if the cognac leftovers have been stuck in the copper pipes for longer, they turn green.
Wow.
So green, the difference between green cognac extract, well, green cognac essential oil, and white cognac is the green has been stuck in the copper pipes for a while.
I prefer it.
You do? You see, I normally prefer the green, but this one, for some reason, I find the white is fruitier.
The white is so... it is like shoving your nose into a glass of cognac.
Mm.
It almost makes you feel drunk, smelling it.
Mm.
But the green one...
Have one of those there.
The green one is... It's weird. I feel like there's a little bit of plasticine in it.
It does. It's gone very... Yeah, there's something very different.
It feels more playful.
Yeah. Yo, damn.
But they are different, aren't they? Yeah.
They are. And yet, and so it's not just the colour. It's not. There's something else going on there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I found out, because I smelt these really beautiful beeswax products, which is, leftover from the honey industry.
Yeah.
And I was told they've discontinued them because so many people are demanding vegan products. They can't sell beeswax anymore, so they've stopped making it.
Wow. Well, that in a weird kind of way is going to have knock-on effects for the bees, for the bee community.
Yeah, because it was, and we need the bees.
We need the bees
to look after the bees, otherwise we have no crops.
And so, if less people are selling beeswax,
Yeah.
they are less inclined to keep bees.
Yeah. I mean, it's the knee-jerk reaction to stuff like, it's got to be vegan, it's got to be vegan, it's got to be vegan. But what about the bees? You're not helping the bees by not using the beeswax.
Yeah. It's true.
And we had that discussion. It's recorded on film about when I said that wool isn't vegan. At which point you declared yourself not vegan then.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not the same as a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
It's... Anyway, here's another thing.
Okay.
So, so that could be a tragedy for bees, and I think maybe people who are just saying they want stuff to be vegan so they can write it on the box because it's trendy haven't thought it through, because these things are always more complicated. Maybe might possibly consider thinking twice about that.
Maybe they just need to write 99% vegan.
Yeah. I mean, I say I'm still using beeswax in some of my fragrances. I just wrote, look, this is ruined if I don't put beeswax in it. So I'm going to say it's not vegan, it's got beeswax. That. But now I'm like on some, these people aren't even vegan websites, so now vegans won't buy from me, and I'm just thinking, oh, come on. This is... I've actually tried... Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It is very frustrating that, those who seek to judge, like, are you completely vegan? No, and this is why. Like, is it doing any harm to the bees? No. Is it helping the bees? Probably. Do we actually care about bees, or do we care about the marketing labels? It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, is it natural? No.
Everything is natural, I've decided, because it all exists. Because this is nature. We are in nature now.
I tell you what this is.
I know what it is.
Moving on. What is it?
Hay.
Oh, you're so close. This is wheat bran.
Right. Wow.
So this is the leftovers of flour production. The bits that people don't normally want.
It's nice. I feel
it
like
is. I use it in Hammersmith tea and biscuits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that was Harry's contribution. He smelt the fragrance and he said, needs more gluten. He said, why don't you use that Bran Absolute that's in the cupboard? And the Bran Absolute came from Charbol, which has now got bought. It was bought by Robertet, so then I couldn't buy from them anymore. And now I've got it back, so I've got a sauce.
Great.
But this is the one that's quite solid. Can I get some out? Yes, I'll just shove hard enough. That's not the answer to everything. I'm going to get some of this out because I'm buying this. I'm buying it.
Okay, don't tell me what it is.
No, it's very gentle. This
looks like earwax.
Does look, now you mention it, like quite dark.
This.
Think that you might possibly be cooking.
Oats.
Very close.
It actually smells like oat milk to me.
Because it is
So it
quite
means it's either oats or palm oil.
Well, it's not palm oil. So it's very intense for what it is, of course, because it's it is French. It is from the south of France. It is. It is a rice bran. Actually,
Oh yeah.
From probably Camargue rice. I think it's the only one that's grown in France, which is red, which is probably why it's that colour.
Oh yeah, it is ricey.
So they call it bal de riz.
Yeah.
Rice balls. I quite like that.
Bal de riz.
So it's rice bran absolute. So I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't bought any material.
Yeah, I like it. It's special. It's very special.
It is. So, and now there are only two things we haven't done, so we might as well since we're here.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the police. Good. We'd hardly had any interruptions from outside, had we? So.
Well, I think there's been a few.
Oh, I've been concentrating so hard I hadn't noticed.
Well, exactly.
I've been having fun. Okay. Right, so this is extracted from the water because most of the waste. Okay, good. Most of the waste from perfumery production is the water which is extracted used in the extraction process. So what they've been doing is catching the water, and so you can get like rose water, lavender water,
jasmine water.
Actually, orange flower, but it's a little white flower, and they're curiously similar. They've got similar.
Wow,
traits.
this is really.
So this is the absolute made from orange flower water. So after the orange flowers are made into absolute or essential oil, even incredibly expensive, then they take the water and then extract the aromatic materials from the water.
Isn't it so amazing how much is left?
Yeah.
You know, like there's
So
a
now
lot of smell left, isn't there?
Yeah. So now we're talking about a lot less waste.
This is really good. It's a flower, but it's like. It's a flower on fire. It's really smoky, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say woody, but I would go as far as smoky.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I've never smelled anything like it.
Never smelt anything like it in my life. Oh, and now I'm going to have to try and remember which musical that's from. Which is, of course, seen, not smelt, but... Okay, and almost finally...
Oh, this smells like every National Trust property I've ever been in.
I think you're right.
This is antique shop. This is an old antique shop. And
Oakwood? It's Oakwood.
Oakwood, yeah.
Yeah, you're completely right. It is.
Oh yeah, that
Maybe
is.
just bottle it and sell it to the National Trust. Right? Or if people want to sell their vintage furniture, they just like take home and...
Would you like do you want to transform your house into a stately home?
Yeah.
Just spray it full of this, yeah.
You know, somebody once smelt the lion cupboard at an event at Les Senteurs when I was sold there, and not me personally, darling, and she said, "Oh, this smells just like a Belgravia drawing room," and looked at me like, I said, "Oh, I've never been in one." You know, what are you supposed to say? I mean, if I had said, "Oh yeah," you know, like, I mean, she might have asked me which one I'd been in. I can't do it. Okay, and totally last, since we're here, we might as well. And I haven't given you this already. It's just that there are two which are made from the same thing. Similar. Well, the same plant. Got any nose left?
It's a bit vinegary.
You haven't got any nose left. Okay, this is another chocolate one. Are you back now? Well,
Yeah,
you know
okay.
what it's like. A lot of the time, the chocolate ones smell like Marmite.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is made from cocoa. Cocoa Clair extract. Clair extract. That's their new name.
It's nice. I mean, I like vinegar.
Chocolate vinegar.
Chocolate vinegar.
Well, you know, pure cocoa isn't sweet. Pure cocoa is like umami savoury.
And that is umami savoury. It's
Yeah,
less vinegary now.
Good.
That I'm telling myself.
It might be whatever it was dissolved in. I just... You know when you get mad ideas about doing crazy things that you then regret later, and I'm not going to do that, but my mad idea is I just want to pour them all in one vat and dissolve it and think, and cover myself in it.
These are really, really special. All of them are interesting.
It has taken me 12 years to get to the point where I'm allowed to order from Robert.
Why is that?
Well, they sell in quite large quantities, or they have a minimum order value per amount. And I think they kind of assume that tiny companies like mine wouldn't want to buy that much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I wouldn't want to buy that much stuff very often. But on the other hand, I've got a network now, so we can share.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also I spoke to somebody, and their team was always based in France, because Robertet UK...
And they now got a rep.
Yes.
Yeah, right,
but he's off to America, but someone else is going to take his place. But I'm going to buy the stuff before he disappears. Yeah, get the order in. But at least now I've got the contact in France as well, because they've been dealing with shipping them over. But at one point I got as far as the UK person coming to see me, but she thought I wanted her to make my fragrances. I'm going no, because Grossmith, they make Grossmith's fragrances. They make other people's whose names won't be mentioned, because they're secret, but they are extraordinarily good at making lovely perfumes in the UK department, but they don't sell raw materials, so you have to get them from France. And that connection just never stopped. I would speak to somebody and then I'd find out they'd left, and then finally I know Kate now because we're on the IFRA executive committee together, and I said, Kate, please, buy some stuff. And so she put me in touch with Ross, and now, it just sort of took that long. And I could always kind of live without them, but they were just so good. I thought, now this is it. I'm not taking no for an answer this time. I'm having them. So that's, it's like you can make stuff happen. You can't make stuff fly, but you can make certain stuff is actually achievable if you set your mind to it. And I'd like to fly, but given that I can't, I'm going to get some Robertet material.